Howdy everyone, here's my after action report of High Desert Brutality 2023. This is a two-gun match put on by In Range TV that was held in Parma, Idaho on August 12th and 13th of 2023. We're starting off here on stage 1, Casarda Through the Gates. It's a take on your standard Casarda drill. And we start off the match with a fumble. Gotta embarrass myself right at the beginning. The main difference with this Casarda drill stage is that the target is 200 yards away, right about there. I'll point at it again once we get a little bit further and the camera points at the target again. I'll say I did write out a script for this overview, but my computer crashed right as I got to stage 7. And I do not have the patience to write it all out again, so you're just getting off-the-cuff commentary here. I am shooting an FN-15 AR-15 with a Silencer Co. 36M suppressor, and my pistol is a CZ-P01 Omega with a Hollow Sun EPS carry red dot. This stage is my first time shooting with a suppressed rifle, so there are some considerations that had to be made for that. And this also is the first time I've ever shot with a red dot on my pistol. I got it back from the shop just 3 days before the match, so I mounted it, sighted it in, and drove off to the match the next day. I do all right here, right until I get and start having to make my way back down to the other side of the bay. I was just not prepared for how hot it was here, and I pushed myself a little too hard with the kettlebell. I'm used to doing this with a 35-pound kettlebell, but this was a 55-pound kettlebell. And I pushed myself a little too hard, so you can see I start to lose my fundamentals. I start having little mistakes here and there. And in the end, I ended up just kind of running out of gas at the end of this stage. Yeah, you can see I'm really struggling to get it up there. And hey, I just got it over the line. Every line we cross, we get a 10-second bonus to our time. So even though I don't finish the stage by the time the par timer hits, I don't end up with the full 240 seconds, though, because I do get a couple bonuses. You see, I am completely out of gas. The timers they used here, they had a max timer setting of 200 seconds, but all of our stages had 240-second par times on them. So on a lot of them, you'll hear the beep before the time is actually off. And you see, I try my best to try and get 2 more shots, but just can't quite make it. I ended up with the par time of 240 seconds, but I got 4 bonuses, so I end up with a score of 200 seconds. I tied with 14 other shooters for 62nd place out of the total 127 shooters at the match. Now on to stage 2 here, Red Dawn. We start off here shooting a couple pepper popper targets. There should be 10 of them on the ground. And you can see I struggle a bit with this red dot on my pistol. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I end up getting into the groove of things. And now the way it's supposed to go is after you shoot that 10th pistol popper target, you're supposed to drop the magazine so you only have 1 round left, and then shoot that on the big target. And I ran out of ammo right after hitting that last 10th target. So I ended up reloading, and then I shot, and then I dropped the magazine, and I just got all kinds of confused. So I fumbled a little bit, but I ended up getting back to the truck in time, and you're supposed to load the rifle and then slap and get the truck moving. I ended up messing that up as well, but I ended up getting things going. And now I forgot to lower the magnification on my optic. So I was at 6 power there, couldn't keep sight on the target. But there's a second target here to get some bonus hits on. Every hit on that target is 10-second bonus. So if I miss, there are no penalties to it, but I want to hit it as many times as I can. And I ended up getting 30 seconds of bonus here because the RO counted 3 hits, but I actually only hit it twice. So we'll just take the bonuses they gave me. And now we have 3 targets out here at 500 yards. They're way up on that cliff, way up there. I forget to charge the rifle. Whoops. But I ended up getting these targets really quick, which surprised me. This is the first time I've ever shot out at this distance. Before this match, the furthest I've ever shot was 300 yards. So I figured I'd just kind of figure things out as I go, but I got those pretty quick. No problem. We then moved to the second location, and now we have to shoot at some 400-yard targets. And I actually struggled with this quite a bit more. These 400-yard targets were much smaller than the 500-yard targets, and they were kind of camouflaged into this hill that they're up against. That hill had obviously just had a fire sometime before, and so it was, you know, dark gray, and these targets were dark gray, so they were tough to see, pretty small, and you can actually kind of hear the wind picking up a little bit. So I struggled a bit with these, but I eventually get them all. Whoops.
Left edge. Low left. You're favoring left. Hit.
There you go.
Hit.
Once I figured out where to hold, I got the next 2 pretty quick. We then move over to this third position, and we shoot it through some 300-yard targets. So there was that beep at 200 seconds. I have another 40 to hit these 3 targets. And I struggled a bit. I honestly don't remember why I struggled at these. Oh, I do remember. You can see me kind of fiddling. The barricade, the left edge was lower than the right, and so I had trouble getting my bipod on it. So in the end here, I end up with a time of 240 seconds. I got 30 seconds of bonus time, but then I missed 2 of the targets, so I got 60 seconds of penalty, so I ended up with the score of 270. I tied with 4 other shooters for 67th place. Now on to stage 3. This one was Metro 2033. And now for this one, I wasn't able to get another shooter to film me. I shoved my camera into my mag pouch.
Take care of these guys. There's more coming. We got to hurry. Cool.
So I popped up a map to show you what's going on. I started out at that green circle inside that tent chained to a chair. We then have our friend here that hands us our pistol, and then we spin a spinner target. And it takes me a little bit of time, but I don't end up missing too many shots, and I get it over. I'm just gonna speed this up here as it goes on for a while. We then shoot a couple smaller targets to the left and right of the spinner. And then we grab our rifle from our friend here and a satchel full of magazines. Then we grab this rope here that our wounded friend is attached to. And now this friend was just a bundle of rebar that weighed, I think they said 100 pounds. And yeah, it was a struggle to get that thing moving. And now from this barricade, we have to shoot at 3 targets. You see those 3 circles there on the map. There's one target at 300 yards. I don't struggle with that one too much. But then there's another target at 400, and then a third target at 500 yards. Now remember, before this match, the furthest I've ever shot was 300 yards. And we're I just ran a bunch. I'm getting tired. I'm also standing up against this barricade, so I just struggle with this. All right, now we drop our rifle, and I actually burned myself putting my sling on there. The suppressor was quite hot. But I grabbed my buddy, and then I burned myself again with the rope. I didn't grab on hard enough, and I let it slide through my hand. And then, watch here. There, I burned myself a third time. This third burn was actually a second-degree burn. It broke skin. And now I have to shoot these 3 targets again. 300, 400, 500 yards. So I ended up getting one of these targets, but I missed the other 2. And then there was a third target we're supposed to hit after dragging our friend a little bit more. So I ended up with 3 penalties and a total time of 420 seconds. I ended up tying 9 people for 90th place. And now on to stage 4, Silent Scope. After parring out on those last 3 stages, I'm really hoping I do better on this one. On this stage, we start off in a sniper tower, overlooking a field out in front of us. There are 5 targets splayed out between 300-ish and 450-ish yards. And we have 2 decks of cards next to us. What we are supposed to do is we draw cards out of one deck, and it tells us what target we need to hit next. We then, after we've finished all 5 targets in the prone position, we then have to put our rifle in between those 2 bars laying horizontal across this tower. And then we do the same thing with those same 5 targets with that second deck of cards. Now here's where I kind of start to regret using 55 grain ammo. I didn't really want to pay for the expensive, heavier ammo, so I'm using the light 55 grain, and the wind really started to pick up right around when my squad got to this stage.
Low right, half target.
I thought I ran empty there. The recoil impulse was a little weird, so I thought I ran out of ammo, but nope, I'm still good. All right, and then on to target number 5.
High right, half target. Hit. Next position.
All right, now do the same thing with the same 5 targets.
Four. Hit.
Nice and easy on the first one.
Right edge. 3. Low right, half target. Hit. 2. Low left.
So I end up cleaning out this one. I get a time of 186 seconds.
1.
So my first time I didn't par out. I was happy with that.
Low right, half target.
I ended up completing this 70 out of 127 contestants.
Just under. Full target low. Hit.
All right, shooter, if you're finished, unload, show clear.
And now on to day 2. And this was another one where I didn't have a filmer because we had to run a bunch. So I just did the mag pouch camera. Right now I'm laying on top of a roof prop, shooting at some targets 300 yards away. And normally I wouldn't have trouble with these targets. I did all right with the 300 yarders in the previous day. But these 2 targets that I'm shooting at 300 yards, they're inside the shadow of a little hill. And I actually couldn't see them. I could see the target stand that they were sitting on top of. So I knew, like, hey, just aim a little bit above that. But yeah, I was struggling with it. The squad before us, a lot of their guys parred out at this spot just trying to get that target over and over again. So I told myself, like, if I can't get it, I'm just moving. So I move on to some smaller 100-yard targets, get those easy, and I get going. We then have a nice 100-yard jog down this bay. I decide to switch my rifle into my right hand, but then think, nope, I'm going to need my right hand because I'm going to jump through this van. Jump through the van, and we reload and shoot through the door. We have some targets out there at 100 yards. These should be nice and easy, though. I prop up on the C pillar of this van. And you can see I start to have magazine problems. I have magazine problems all day today. But I end up getting it loaded, and I end up getting the targets pretty quick. I then move over to the hood of the van, and then I have 5 more smaller targets, also at 100 yards. But I get them real easy. I then drop the rifle into the van, just huck it in there, and I start running up this hill. Once I get up the hill, I have to run around this barrel and make my way down into this trench system. And now from here, I load up and I have to shoot some targets with the pistol. They're nice and close, so I'm able to get them nice and quick. I'm barely aiming at them. I remember right, I think we have 6 targets up here. And then one more big target, and then we get to a tiny little baby target. It's about the size of like a baseball at 10 yards. Takes me a couple shots, but I ended up getting it. Finished with a time of 189 seconds. I get the 30-second penalty for skipping that target, and I finished with a score of 219. 75 out of 127 contestants. And now on to stage 6. We stab a target, steal that target's gun, and we have to spin a rifle spinner target. You can see this is another mag pouch camera, so not a good view. So I'm just gonna speed through this rifle spinner target. We then ditch the rifle, and we have to make our way down this very steep hill. I heard that a lot of people fell on this one, so I'm pretty happy I got through it pretty quick without falling down. We then grab this pistol that is laying down here for a bonus target, and I miss. So I start making my way through the shoot house. And we start off with another spinner target, but this target has some holes in it and some no-shoot targets behind it. So I have to be pretty careful, especially when hitting the lower section of the spinner. But I end up getting it pretty quick. With those holes in it, it's a lot lighter, and so it spins a lot faster than the non-hold targets. I don't hit the no-shoot, so I move on to the next position. 3 small popper targets. 1, 2, 3, nice and clean. Move on to the next spot. And this one, you can see my camera starts to fall into my magazine pouch. So I'll just have to narrate what's going on. We have 3 popper targets behind 3 no-shoots. So I'm really careful. I aim to the right edge because all the no-shoots are on the left. Don't hit any of the no-shoots, and I get all the targets. We then move on to a set of 4 targets behind a plate rack. But I get them all real quick. I ended up with a score of 150 seconds, and I was 20 out of 127 contestants. So that made me real happy. Now on to stage 7, Starship Troopers. This one was real fun. We start off with a grenade launcher shooting tennis balls. Get a bonus if we hit that barrel there, but I ended up missing it, so no harm done.
Mags out.
And you can see more magazine troubles today.
Lock the bolt back.
Something was stuck in my mag catch, and my magazines weren't seating all the way.
All right, drop it.
End up
Drop the mag.
getting
There
it
you go.
sorted. We have a target we need to hit 5 times. I think I can go fast, but I can't go that fast. So I slow down, get the hits. And now we have some large paper targets we have to hit. Have to hit it 5 times. And I told my brain, pull the trigger 5 times. But on both of these, I pull the trigger 6 times. Not sure why. I then reload, probably didn't need to, and again I have some mag troubles, and I just smack my rifle against the barricade, hoping that'll get it in. It does not. So 1 shot, and magazine's not loading. So I have to lock the bolt back, get the magazine in there, slide it home. Shoot this other steel target 5 times, then there's a little tiny baby target off to the left, get it after 2 shots. Then on the move again. And then from here, they were supposed to give me a grenade, a little tennis ball I was supposed to throw, but they didn't. And so you can see me, I'm like, hey, where's my grenade?
He doesn't have a grenade.
Yep.
I don't have a grenade. Throw a mag.
Said throw a mag, so I do the shots I need to on that target, throw the mag in, and then we have 2 other targets off the edge there that we have to hit 5 times. And then I spoke with the match coordinator. They give me a 5-second bonus for the grenade issue. So I complete that one 59th out of 127 contestants with a score of 107 seconds. On to the 8th and final stage, Hamburger Hill. We drag our considerably lighter wounded buddy here out of his downed airplane. We get some targets up on the hill. I don't remember how far these were, but they were decently far away. We then drag our friend over to the next position. You shoot at some more targets quite a ways away. I have a bit of trouble finding them, but
Left side, left side.
I get them with the help of the RO. You again get the shots pretty quick.
2. 1. 2. 1.
All right, uh-oh, our friend died, so don't need to drag him anymore. Start going up the hill, I reload, and again, more magazine troubles. I have trouble seating it in, so after I get to the next position, I futz around with it for a little bit, but end up getting it resolved. Just kidding, click. But now I get it resolved. We have some more targets we have to hit. Way off in the distance. Hit 3 targets twice. And we have another 3 targets we shoot twice. And here you see I switched to my left shoulder. I was putting my eye too close to the charging handle and got way too much gas in the face, and I couldn't see out my right eye. But in the 5 seconds I take to shoot those other targets, it clears up, so I shoot the last target right-eyed. And get it. We then shoot some pistol targets. And I think I ran up that hill a little too fast because I am breathing pretty heavy, my hands are shaking a little bit, and I struggle on these targets way more than I should have. I should be better than this. But I think I pushed myself too hard, got a little too shaky. But I end up getting them taken care of after not too much time. And I end up completing this stage with a time of 153 seconds. No penalties, no bonuses, placing me 46 out of 127 contestants. And I was happy with that one. So, Desert Brutality 2023 overall score 1,512 seconds, placing me 57th out of 127 contestants. I ended with 2 first-degree burns, 1 second-degree burn, 3 bruises, and 2 abrasions. So overall, I give the match 7 out of 10. I'll be back next year.